Robert, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Linda, and I'm delighted to be here. The subject of today, and it came to me as I was driving on the way to the studio here, is when someone has something wrong with their car, they see a car mechanic, of course. If someone has a sore tooth, they got to see a dentist. And they want their taxes done, they'll go to a qualified accountant. I have a business partner that is a very qualified accountant that at another show we'll bring on here. But one thing that happens when people go to retire, and it's an event that they've been hopefully planning for their whole life, and they are faced with many decisions, and they don't get anybody on board with them that can navigate that can help them. And that's one of the most important things that's going to happen in their entire life. Maybe they plan, but there's things they can do to make it much better. And today's topic is this. When you look at retiring and people say, I want to keep money in the bank, I want to keep extra money. Why do you need extra money when you retire? It's for a rainy day. But a rainy day can be a new roof on the house, a new car, maybe your kids need help. That happens a lot with people that are retired. Maybe a plan to help the grandkids get through college. That could be a rainy day, and certainly you want to put money away for that. But there's a rainy day that's far worse, far more expensive than anything that I just mentioned. In fact, it could be more expensive than all of those things put together. And that is the rainy day, and it will happen. It happens to everyone. What if they can't feed themselves, they can't bathe, they can't dress themselves, they can't get around to the toilet, they aren't able to find their way around town or transfer themselves, or even have continence. In other words, they can't control themselves from going to the restroom. Most people end up with either kids take care of them, and that's a big life change, or they have to go to a nursing home. The nursing homes cost $80,000 to $100,000 for per year. And what happens with nursing homes, and I've been through this with clients, they didn't listen to me. And I went through it with the clients' kids. I would bring up what you would call long-term care coverage to pay for a nursing home. And on these two specific occasions, they refused. They didn't want to do it. They said, don't talk to my parents about them and pressure it. And they end up losing all the parents' money. The parents aren't able to leave the kids anything, and they don't have money to pay for a nursing home. What they do is, if they have investments, they sign the investments over to the nursing home. If all they have is a home, they sign the title over with that the home will be sold, anything left over the kids would get. But they will lose all their assets just to have themselves taken care of. This is the worst rainy day. And what I'm talking about today is, how do you prepare for that? How do you prepare yourself if you're approaching that age, or if your parents are up to age 80, I can take care of it. We have a plan that we can take care of the nursing home expenses. And what I listed, all those things of eating, bathing, dressing, toileting, being able to get in and out of the bed, being mobile, those are the ADLs, activities of daily living, that they look at that says, can you do it? And so the key is this, to prepare for that. And if you have $500,000 in the bank, or $1 million, or whatever.
I just want to interrupt you, and I hope it's not interrupting to a point where you lose that dynamic point that you're on. But your lead-in is just so awesome, because we will be doing a series right there where you picked up. So we will be picking up from where you left off, as a matter of fact. And what I mean by that is, we will be doing a series on baby boomers preparing for their parents. And we've done it in radio, but we haven't done it as much in television. But everyone, your age, my age, different generations, which are becoming so much closer together now, are needing to have this kind of advice. So thank you so much for even opening with this topic. Go right ahead.
Oh, thank you. Okay, part of the quality of when someone retires, and it also ties right in with this, is how much money are you going to be getting every year? Well, I have, and I won't, it's just a breakout sheet by one of the carriers I work with, and what it lists is what are your expenses you're going to need, and what do you have coming in, what do you have available, how much money are you going to have. That's important. When people go to retire, they're shocked. They're shocked when they go to retire and they get their pension fund. They thought they had all this money coming, but if they're going to leave their wife anything, it's greatly decreased. The subject is, how do you manage your Social Security retirement? What's the right time to retire? That's an issue. What's the cheapest way to get medical coverage? And there are ways that you can use your Social Security and play it smart, and literally you are paying very little a month for Social Security and for their medical that you are qualified for. No one has to talk with these people about this. They don't know. People don't know. And so the best thing to do, if you don't know something, contact someone that knows and they can direct you. I've been dealing with this over 31 years. I've negotiated my own parents. I've negotiated close friends and relatives. So I've been on a numerous estate planning in terms of how do you maintain your money. Now, the solution to this is this. When you go into a nursing home, the nursing home, it's what I call it, it's expensive. They will want their money. You either have cash or you have assets that you will sign over. If it's a house, you sign over that they will take possession of the house when it's sold and use it to pay for the bills. Okay? If you have annuities or investments, they'll take possession of it. They want paid. Anything else left over will go to the kids. But you lose your money. And rightfully so. They don't want to go in for free. They can't operate for free. There's a solution. There are two solutions. One is you buy a specific long-term care policy that covers it. It's very expensive. Very expensive. There's another solution. It actually takes care of several options at the same time. And I'm going to get back to the medical where it can save some people some money, and I will talk about that information they'll want.
Just to interrupt you briefly, what the average cost of something like that?
Oh, you're going to get cost for a nursing home, and depending on how old you are, the older it is, the more you pay. But say someone's in their 60s, they're going to pay probably anywhere from $400 to $700 a month for that to get the policy. It's not cheap. There's a better way of doing that, and it's the new type of life insurance. The old type of life insurance was called whole life. You buy it, company puts dividends in, it grows in cash value. You die, and they get the money. You never see it yourself, okay, unless you withdraw from the cash inside. The new type, though, has riders that will say if someone buys a $500,000 life insurance, and we insure up to 80, then if something goes wrong with them and they need assisted living, they need to stay in a facility, that $500,000 is available through the policy. In other words, you get the full death benefit paid out ahead of time. And that's much cheaper than it gives you good coverage. So say, for instance, they could still be in trouble. They have a $300,000 policy, and it's $100,000 a year for it's only going to cover them for 3 years. How do you cover the rest? Well, if they're too old, they won't get insured, or they won't get long-term care. But this is the closest thing. And what's left over after the benefits are paid out to the nursing home, the kids get tax-free. So the smart money is on and if you get disabled for the rest of your life, or whatever happens to you, they also have in the policies that if they say you're only going to live the next 12 months and you can prove it, you can get all that life insurance paid to you cash right away. So there's some wonderful riders on the riders, meaning how do they structure it, what is the benefit that will pay for the nursing home. And the smart money is on that. They didn't have this stuff, but 10 years ago these weren't even out. They weren't even available. In fact, 10 years ago, the rage was long-term care policies. Long-term care policies have almost come to be non-existent because of the riders on the life insurance. So the smart thing to do for millennials, if they're getting ready for retirement, get the insurance now. It's cheaper. If they have parents and they're concerned about it, get it for them, or they should get it. I recently met, last month, a lady that was 80 years old. I shoulder the policy to pay for the nursing home. I shoulder the life insurance. I got a call and she wouldn't do it. How dare you want me to pay for life insurance? She needs to go to a nursing home. She has no coverage. All the money she had in the bank, she had about $400,000. All this money is going to be gone. The family and her son didn't want to do it. All it's going to be gone. I told them. And they don't believe you because they look at it as an expense. Now, the point that I wanted to drive home, and I thought of this as I was making up a format of what to talk about, was this. One of the most important things, the most important thing it will be when that happens, when you go to retire or you go to be in a nursing home, is that what have you done to prepare for it? People do not want to talk to a financial advisor or planner on how you take care of that. They will readily go, if something's wrong with their teeth, they'll go to a dentist or an automobile or whatever the case is, but they don't want to talk to someone that can guide them through this. Customers need to be guided through Social Security. How do you find your way? One thing as Social Security, if the question, by the way, and I'll cover this, if the question is, most of the retirement age for Social Security is about 67, that's full retirement. You take a cut if you get it at 66, 5, 4, or 62. I advise them to take it as soon as they're eligible, because it takes them, it would have been about 11 years after they take it where it would have been more profitable not to take it. So they should take their Social Security early. In addition to that, within Social
That's a major point right there. And you're bringing up some heavy-duty issues that people wonder about every day, and sometimes make right decisions, or I guess there's no right or wrong, but make different decisions based on lack of knowledge. So let's delve a little deeper into the point of taking that Social Security early.
And you can get it as early as age 62. At 62, people will get a Social Security statement saying, here's your benefits at different ages. Social Security is great to work out.
Honing in on why you encourage people to take it early.
It's a money issue. The longer you wait, the more that you get. But if you say if someone takes it at age 62 versus 67, if you take the money that you would have made every month and say it's $300, $400, $500 less, but you got an additional 5 years of taking that Social Security with a lower amount, and you would have had to start it at that age of 67, and beyond 67, the average is about 10 to 11 years until you would have reached a point it would have been better to wait. And so if they take it at 67, you're at 78. And at 78, are you still going to be around, or are you going to remember anything? It won't matter. But so it's better to take the money now. And even if
you know what? People is 101, and his wife, or what, 103, his wife is 100. People are a little bit longer. What do you have to say about that?
Well, the average age have not increased that much for longevity. They say a man now at age 62 is going to at most live to 82 years old. Women outlive men by about 3 to 5 years. But it is better to take it as soon as you can take it and enjoy the benefit. The second thing that's very important with it is this, and people don't know this. You've got to pay. There's Part A and B. Part A is like hospitals. Part B are doctors and things like that. You've got to pay for Part B on Social Security. That will come directly out of your benefit. Part B costs on an average of Part B costs about $150 a month. That comes out of your Social Security. And then beyond that, though, what Medicare doesn't cover is almost $38,000 worth of charges. And you get a Medicare supplement. So if you go, I'm going to go on Medicare, and then I got to buy an extra policy to cover what Medicare doesn't cover. And that is about anywhere from $150 to $250 a month more. There's a better way. One, you're always going to have to pay for Part A no matter what. and that comes out of your Social Security benefit, out of your Social Security retirement. But then on Part B, you can save that money and get better coverage by getting it through a company like a Humana, an Aetna, United Healthcare. They all have what they take over Social Security for you. You do not go through Medicare for the benefit. Medicare pays that company, and you get a card. And I'm not advertising these guys, it's just what I have, but I pay $10 for a visit, and prescriptions are free. And and I don't pay for a Medicare supplement. So it's the cheapest way to go, and most of these companies have great networks. But talking, you won't know this. People don't know. They are not going to tell you this is Social Security. And when I tell people, go ahead and get one of these companies to take over your Social Security for you, you deal with the company and not the government. And it's what you save is paying a supplement. You save paying a supplement. And it's what they do is they do a HMO. You still have.
Okay, before you go into that, we're gonna take one quick station break, okay, and go into the next part of the supplement.
Okay.
So, everybody, you're watching Variety Talk Live, getting information regarding retirement. All right, so hang tight, and we're sitting with Mr. Robert Bowsey, and I'm your host, Linda Lee. We'll be back in a minute.
Thank you.